Yo, what's up, guys? Kevin here. Just filling in for TJ today. TJ, he's actually packing up his bags, packing all of his stuff, and starting the process of moving to Whistler. So I'm filling in for TJ's live chat this week. It's going to be a special live chat, just going to do 30 minutes. But yeah, I just want to talk about moving to Whistler, answer any of your guys' snowboard questions, and yeah, just kind of fill you guys in on what's been going on. Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, TJ, he's in the process of moving from Colorado on the way here to Whistler. He's not coming like straight away. He's got a few stops along the way. But yeah, just filling in for TJ. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Definitely hit me up with any of your questions. Let me know where you guys are watching from as well. And yeah, this is just going to be a special 30-minute live chat. TJ, he's going to pick up his live chat tomorrow. But yeah, just filling in for him today because he's having a big moving day, moving from Colorado to Whistler. If you guys have any questions about moving to a ski town, definitely hit me up. I've done it a few times. So if you guys ever have the idea of possibly moving to a ski town, definitely ask me some of those questions. Also, would like to talk to you guys about doing some snowboarding in New Zealand in a couple weeks. So if you guys have any questions about possibly traveling to the Southern Hemisphere to snowboard, or if you're down there already and you guys have some comments or questions for us, definitely hit us up. So yeah, there's two exciting things coming up. TJ is moving to Whistler, and so he's moving right now. And then also we're heading down to New Zealand and Australia soon. Also, we're putting in some of our orders for some snowboard gear. So going to give you guys some previews of some of the gear that might be coming our way soon. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about new snowboard gear for the upcoming season, definitely hit me up with questions about that. But yeah, filling in for TJ, if you're just tuning in, he's having his moving day today. Not going to make it to Whistler today, but he's starting the process of moving out of Colorado. Pretty amazing spot to be moving from too. So yeah, if you have any questions about moving to a ski town, definitely let me know. But yeah, let's get started. Let's check in on you guys, see what you guys are saying. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Malcolm Powder, awesome. Thanks for tuning in, man. He says he met Jenny Jones, Olympic bronze medalist in slopestyle. Very cool. Thea Dragonova from Australia, thanks for tuning in. Malcolm's watching in a nightclub. This is sick, dude. I hope you can hear this over the beats. Kid Duke watching from Germany. Thea's watching from in school. Aiden's watching from Alaska. Thanks for tuning in. Would love to get up to Alaska, do some heli-boarding up there, hopefully this upcoming snowboard season. Tuxedo Too Godly watching. Kevin LePage from Michigan. Ace Eagle, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Daniel Z, as always. And Daniel Z says, is TJ going to live in Whistler for good? Maybe not for good, but for the foreseeable future, he will be. Isaac from Missouri. Preston from Colorado, and Tuxedo is watching from Massachusetts. Kid Duke says it's midnight for me, so yeah, shout out to everyone in Europe. Thank you guys for tuning in. Andy McLean watching from Scotland. Thanks for staying up late, guys. Reds Cap, what's up, Reds Cap? Thanks for all the support, for being here every week, and for everyone that matter who tunes in every week. And Impassive Tax S is living in Whistler as well. Very cool. Biscuit Crumb from New Zealand. And King K1 watching from the Congo. Wow, amazing. All right. Andy McLean says, do you get discounts to staying at local resorts, lift passes, etc.? Yeah, sometimes like a resort will help us out with lift passes and possibly accommodation. So whenever we set our schedule, we usually try to contact the resort ahead of time and just ask them if they can help us out with some passes. It just makes it easier. You know, snowboarding can be an expensive sport, especially when you're traveling so much. So any help that we can get from resorts. You know, we're giving them some media by making videos at the resort, and if they can help with passes and accommodation, that's just a bonus. Rob Gam says, Kevin filling in for TJ. Yeah, just filling in for a 30-minute live special. TJ is moving today, so yeah, I just wanted to fill in for him. Moving from Colorado to Whistler. He's not getting here like for a couple weeks, but he's got the process rolling. And yeah, guys, hit me up if you guys have any questions on moving to a resort town. And all right, Party Quackas is a house near a ski resort expensive? Yeah, that's the thing with moving to a resort town. The rent and buying a house is usually very expensive. So my experience with moving to Whistler, I actually found a place to like ahead of time. Before I moved out here 15 years ago, I found a bedroom and a house share that I could stay at for 1 month. And then in that 1 month, that's when I was like just in Whistler, going to look at places as much as possible. And everywhere is fairly expensive, but you can find deals. So there's some places, you know, like for a studio, you may be looking at $1,200. My place with my girlfriend Jill, we have a 1-bedroom. It's about $1,800. But the closer you get to the resort, the more expensive it gets. The further away it can get a little bit cheaper. But you know, it is possible to find those good deals. You may have to have a roommate in some scenarios, maybe, you know, $500 to share a room. Situations like that. But the best bet is to just, I would say, is to first arrive into the place, you know, get accommodation ahead of time if you can, and then just, you know, get on the grind and try to find a place that is, you know, what you're looking for and within your price range. Lauren's tuning in. Thanks, Lauren. Red's Cap again. Sung Yan Su. Which one is better for intermediate rider? Ride Warpig or Jones Explorer? Wow. Man, those boards they're similar and they're both very good, like all mountain type snowboards that you can take into the park if you wanted to. But those are both great intermediate boards. If I was gonna pick one, I think it would kind of depend on what you want to do. With the Ride Warpig, it's a bit more versatile, I think, so you can take it all mountain and a bit more in the park. And I feel like the Jones Explorer is more all mountain leaning. So I would say if you want more of a do everything board, Ride Warpig. If you're more concerned about just riding the whole mountain and riding powder, then go with the Jones Explorer. But both great intermediate to advanced boards. Yeah, kind of depends on what you want it for. Ace Eagle watching from Illinois. Thanks for tuning in. Chris DeLeon says, what's up? 108 here. I'm in Cali. Can't wait for winter. Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Heading down to winter in the Southern Hemisphere in just over a week in New Zealand. So stoked on that. But yeah, can't wait for the winter to come back to North America too. Red's Cap says 2 weeks more, brother. Be there in Vancouver. Awesome. Yeah. So are you talking about TJ? Yeah, he's coming up. Daniel Z asks, again, is TJ moving to Whistler for good? So I think it's going to be for the foreseeable future, at least the season. But we'll see what happens past that. Maybe I can sponsor TJ to become a Canadian citizen, and then he can move to Whistler full time. All right, awesome. So people watching from Australia, from Sweden, Lucifer Morningstar, replacement TJ. Yeah, just temporary, just for today. TJ is moving. So yeah, just filling in for him for a 30-minute short live chat. And yeah, I think he's gonna go live tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And Gallant Gage watching from Windsor, Ontario. Very cool. Tuxedo says, you were the reason I know how to snowboard until I got a lesson. Thanks for all the tips. Awesome, no problem. Thanks for watching. And Lauren says, had an awesome session at the Fridge yesterday. Really good progression, very happy. Awesome, way to go. What did you progress the most with? What are you feeling stoked on at the moment? And Kid Duke says, how should I snowboard when it's 40 degrees Celsius? Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. 40, that's pretty hot. It's almost 40 degrees Celsius here in Whistler today. It's maybe 35, but I'm thinking you got to book a trip somewhere where they've got a patch of snow. Breck Horton's watching from Ohio. Kevin LePage, what's the best paddleboard? I think the best paddleboard, I love this shape of board, the swallowtail, the fat nose, the kind of real surfy shape to this, the Nitro Pow. I think that a lot of different brands have that shape of paddleboard too. I feel like that's the best. The fat nose just allows you to stay afloat on top. You don't have to like lean onto your back foot. It keeps you really like level over the snow, kind of surfing on top. And yeah, it's a great shape. But yeah, there's lots out there. There's a Rising No Sushi. There's lots of Jones boards, some great Jones boards, some great Capita boards out there. The Spring Break collection, check out those. Yeah, tons of great boards. Guys, I'll put links in the description too after this video is over to some of the gear if you guys want to check out some of that gear. If you guys purchase any gear through the links too, it's a great way to support the channel. We'll get a small commission from any purchase. Doesn't cost you guys anything, but yeah, it's just one of the ways that allow us to keep this channel rolling. So yeah, if you on all the videos across the platform, there's links in the description, and if you guys get anything through those links, it just helps TJ and I out to keep the content going. And Rion Tyler says, watching from the UK, bro, would love to get into snowboarding. Awesome. Well, you got a good opportunity. So in the UK, there's lots of indoor places. I guess Lauren was just commenting before, like in the fridge. So lots of indoor snow slopes. So you can hit up some of those. And then you're just a short flight from the Alps. So you can hop on a plane, go to the Alps, or even go to some places in Eastern Europe, which I know are more affordable. So you got lots of options there. And then, yeah, check out some of the videos on the channel. You got the whole beginner playlist, teach you all the beginner steps. Check out the intermediate playlist so that you can progress. If you want to know tricks, check out some of the trick videos. So yeah, go for it, man. And Lost Everything Abroad says, hey man, are you going back to Japan? I'm going in January, watching from England. Yeah, we're planning on going back in January as well. Haven't worked out the details, but really stoked on going back to Japan. That was some of my favorite riding from last year. Possibly my favorite country in the world to snowboard. So really looking forward to going back. Yeah, we'll keep you guys posted. And then if we end up being in the same place at the same time, would be great to hang out with some of you guys in Japan. I know we met some fans of the channel when we were there last time. And yeah, hopefully shout out to Carrie Pierce. We met you and your family in Japan. It was really cool. But yeah, hopefully get to see some of you guys down there. And I got he's watching from Israel. Very cool. Vince Powell Newman says, what up, Kev? What's up, Vince? Just filling in for TJ today. He's getting his moving going. Reds Cap says, I'll be moving there soon too. Up to Whistler, man. You're moving to Whistler? Awesome. Rob Gams is already ready for winter. And Reds Cap says, my wife rents is $900 for a basement in Vancouver. Yeah, that's pretty good. I guess it depends on if it's a studio, basement, or one bedroom. But yeah, Vancouver and Whistler rent is very similar. Like Vancouver is very expensive for rent compared to the rest of the world. Whistler is on that level as well. And Cool PL Leaf says, have you ever tried out Vimana snowboards? Never tried them. Haven't heard of it actually. Sister JJ in the live chat. Thanks for tuning in, Sister JJ. Miss you guys. Had a good time at Mount Hood with you. Says, hey Kevin, I'm ready to see some snowboarding vids again. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we're in a drought. We're in a snowboard vid drought. So can't wait to get down to New Zealand and start making some more snowboard vids for you guys. Reds Cap says, Kevin, is your birthday December 30th? Yeah, that's right. December 30th. Eric Kim, does a GoPro Hero 6 have issues in the cold? Yeah, I saw that David Jones video as well, where he's talking about GoPro 6 and it having issues in the cold. Oddly enough, I've never had any issues with my GoPro and the cold ever. So that was kind of surprising for me to hear. Maybe it's just across different ones. Maybe certain ones have different issues with the cold, but I found that pretty surprising because, yeah, I've been using GoPros for the last 7 years for filming out in the cold in Whistler in the coldest days, and I've never had any issues like that. So I'm really surprised. So it could just be that GoPro. It could be, there's so many factors with electronics that it can just, yeah, it's just kind of hard to pinpoint it to one thing. But yeah, it could just be that GoPro for some reason. I think that if you have problems with any kind of electronics like that, with the GoPro as well, just kind of troubleshoot it. And then if the problem persists, you just got to try to take it back and exchange it for something different. But yeah, I've been loving my GoPro 6. I feel like it takes great video, really brightens everything up, adds a lot of contrast and color to the shots. So for me, it's been perfect for filming snowboarding. So yeah, I'm feeling David's pain there. It really sucks when you're out and you're filming and you're like getting stoked on shots that you think you got, and then you go home to check and it's all, you know, the filming hasn't turned out. But that almost never happens for me. So yeah, it sucks to hear it's happened for David for sure. And George Buford says, any tips on things to look out for when renting snowboards? Not too much. I would say from my experience, it's just make sure that the stance is set up like for you. That's the most important thing. So make sure that the rental person sets up your stance properly. Don't let them kind of rush you through it or just hand you a board without just taking the time to set up the stance properly. I feel like most of the time, the rental people are really good about setting up a good stance. But once in a while, from my days of teaching snowboarding, once in a while, a student would show up with a totally wrong stance, and then I would just have to take 5 minutes or 2 minutes to fix their stance for them. So if you get a board and yeah, the issue is that the stance isn't right, either take it back for them to adjust the stance, or if you know what you're doing, you can adjust it yourself. But I would say that that's the most concerning thing with getting a rental board that's set up properly for you. And Preston Cantrell says, what's the stats for the Solomon Huck knife? Stats or status? The stats. I don't know all the stats off by heart, but it's a great board. It's really fun. It's got camber under your feet with some rocker on the nose and tail. Kind of great do everything board. You know, it's fun in the park, fun on the groomers. So that's the Huck knife right there. And yeah, had a good time riding it 2 seasons ago. And yeah, no plans to go back to it at the moment just because, you know, that's a board that I like, but I really wanted to just keep exploring, trying different boards. There's lots of cool boards out there. So going to continue to try out some different boards. Chase Miller says favorite besides Whistler. Few favorites. Definitely love riding in Europe and Japan. And yeah, summers down in the States you can't beat riding at Mount Hood or down in Colorado with Woodward Copper in the summertime. Those are some of my favorite places as well. Lots of you guys talking amongst yourselves. Really good to see. What's up, Justin Visey? Thanks for tuning in. If you're tuning in late, just to let you know, I'm just filling in for TJ here. I'm actually going to scroll down to the bottom, guys, just to catch up with everyone. Lots of questions today. Yeah, if you guys are tuning in late, I'm just filling in for TJ for a 30-minute special live chat just because TJ's he's pretty busy moving today. He's making his trip up to Whistler. Not going to be up here for a week or so, but yeah, the moving process has started. I think he's going home for a visit back to North Carolina with his mom and grandma, and then yeah, then he's making the move out to Whistler. But before settling in Whistler, we're going to New Zealand and Australia for a 5-week snowboard trip. And yeah, we're also in the process of getting down some of our 2019 snowboard gear. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. And Magical Cat 86 says, where are you going to in Australia? So we're gonna visit Melbourne, and then we're also gonna be in Jindabyne and gonna do some snowboarding at Perisher. So really stoked on that. And Red's Cap wants to know, Kevin, what's your input with the GoPro Fusion? I'm planning to get my first GoPro cam. The Fusion is cool, but I feel like the Fusion is awesome, but it's more of like a novelty. So it's not like a camera that you want to use daily. I would say maybe it's more of like a fun camera that you can use once in a while. I haven't actually used the Fusion yet, and I know there's like a different editing process to it because of the way that it films with that like 3D look. So I would say if you're gonna get one GoPro, definitely just pick up the new GoPro 6. But if you wanted to get the GoPro 6 and then something else, the Fusion's kind of like a fun novelty camera to get. All right. And Mr. AVH123 says, how do you like boarding at Fernie, BC? It's one of my favorite hills, as well as Castle Mountain, 1.5 hours from there. I've actually never boarded at Fernie, so that'll be maybe someplace we hit to this winter. Yamel says, I just subscribed. Awesome, thanks for subscribing. Snowboard Life. If you need somewhere with a lot of snow, what's the best powder board to buy? Ooh, wow. Yeah, so I think I was just talking about this a minute ago, but yeah, the Nitro Pow, that's the board that I picked up last season. It's definitely my favorite powder board that I've ever ridden, but there are lots of boards out there with that same shape. So I would recommend I'd recommend a board with that a powder board with that shape, the fat nose, the swallowtail, and yeah, just a bit of a shorter board than normal, because a shorter board will allow you to make tighter turns, which is really fun through the trees and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the style of board I would look for. But yeah, the Nitro Pow has been my favorite. And Anthony Lambus says, yeah, TJ is going to Whistler. Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be an epic winter with TJ living out here. And Oliver says, Revelstoke is Snow King of BC. Yeah, that's totally true. I've had lots of friends head out to Revelstoke, and it's someplace, yeah, I need to hit up. CJ Explored, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. CJ says, Kevin, have you ever surfed before? I just got back from my first surf trip and found it way tougher to pick up than snow. Yeah, I've done some surfing, and it's way harder because of all the swimming involved in surfing. So you almost need to be, like a semi-pro swimmer to, well, you don't have to be pro, but you have to be a really good swimmer to be good at surfing. And then reading the waves and just getting that perfect wave to come in. So there's so many more factors in surfing that make it more difficult. But yeah, it's cool, but it's way, way harder than snowboarding. And Jimmy Stryker says, come to Silver Mountain. All right, where's that? Luca says, greetings from Italy. SLSJ says, thoughts on the Capita Warp Speed. Haven't had a chance to ride that. Size 13 foot. That's you got big feet, man. Is 161 wide enough? I'm not sure. Maybe check out I guess the scale maybe doesn't show. It may. On a lot of boards, they'll have like a weight and height scale that'll tell you, and sometimes they even include like boot size. So maybe check on the scale to see if that boot size is if that board is big enough to handle a size 13. My side's done, says enjoyed Down Under, boys. Thanks, man. All right, it's gonna scroll down a bit. Sorry if I miss anybody's questions. Just want to keep up with all you guys. The Life says, what's the best brand jacket for snowboarding? That's pretty tough. Lots of great brands out there. The last, I've worn a couple seasons of riding Dakine jackets. They've been really good. The last season I was riding the Dakine Vapor, which has which is Gore-Tex, 2L Gore-Tex. And it was great, kept me dry, really comfortable jacket, lightweight. Volco makes some great jackets. But I would say the thing that you want to look for in a jacket, for me, number one is just like the fit, so that, you know, it just feels comfortable. It's long enough, the sleeves are long, so having like the right fitting jacket is the most important thing. Even like around your neck, you want to make sure that you have like lots of room, because if you're going to put like a neck warmer or anything kind of between your face and your jacket, you want to have enough room to do that. So yeah, just something that feels comfortable and there's enough room to move around in. And then the second thing, I'd say the second most important thing is the level of waterproofness. And that kind of depends on what area of the country you're snowboarding in as well. So here on the West Coast, we get a lot more like wet weather. So you want to have a more waterproof jacket, where compared to the East Coast, where you may need a jacket that is more insulated for the cold. So yeah, kind of waterproofness depending on where you live. And then the final thing is like, yeah, kind of getting into that price range that you're comfortable with. So yeah, I say number one, find a jacket that just is comfortable for you. And yeah, I've had a lot of luck with Dakine and Volcom jackets, so check out some of those. CJ Explorer says, Kev, was the DJI drone worth the purchase? I've wanted one for my videos for a while, but all the parks and resorts I visit restrict flying drones. Yeah, that's the tricky thing with getting a drone for snowboarding, is that you aren't allowed to fly them in a lot of places. So the DJI Mavic that I have, DJI actually sent that to me for free, so didn't have to spend any money on that one. But yeah, I have flown it and it's been great, but it's kind of like a risk, because you know, you're kind of like risking getting in trouble. Even here in BC, like you can't fly them in national parks, which is pretty much the entire place. So you're always kind of walking the line of like, are you allowed to do this? So that's kind of an obstacle. I did pick up the DJI Spark, which is just like a really tiny, small drone. So I feel more comfortable flying that because it's so small and it's like not threatening. So I would maybe recommend checking out the DJI Spark, just because I feel like it's a more friendly drone to fly places. And if you know, if you've just got a small little not scary looking drone, then I feel like people will maybe let you off with a bit more if like a park ranger or something wanted to get you in trouble. Yeah, man, check out the Spark. I feel like it's like a good, it's inexpensive too. So then if you don't end up using it a whole lot, it's only, you know, it's like $400 or something like that. And Andre Baller 10 says, do you get your boards at a shop or online? So a bit of both. Gonna get some new boards online though, through Evo. That's where TJ gets his boards as well. And yeah, we put links to all of our gear below. Most of them go to the Evo, or some of them go to the house. It's just kind of fun to shop on Evo because you can go across, look at all the different boards, huge selection, and you can even buy some of the last year's gear on sale. So yeah, I think online shopping, just in general, I find, you know, there's just more options out there. You can really find the best price, but it can be valuable too to go into a local shop if you find somebody in there that's like really knowledgeable and can help you out. Like here in Whistler at Comore, Andreas, he's a legend. If you guys ever visit Whistler, head into Comore, go talk to Andreas. He's really knowledgeable with the snowboard products. And yeah, it can be fun to like go in and look at the gear. So yeah, it's kind of good to do both, I think. You know, visit your local shop, get some stuff online, whatever you prefer. And Nick Foley says, any suggestions for a beginner park board? Yeah, lots of great beginner park board options. I think a board that I recently picked up, which is the Capita Horoscope. I think it's a great beginner park board. It's like leans towards me being softer, so easier to flex, easier to practice butters and presses. and it's a lot lower on the price range too. So I think that board cost me less than $300. So I feel like that's a good, for beginner boards. You don't want to spend a lot of money because you're going to bang them up and all that kind of stuff. So, and you're not going to take advantage of the really high tech that goes into those expensive boards. So getting a low priced board, yeah, but check out the Capita Horoscope. I'll put a link below to it, and it's, I think it's a good one. It's twin shape, so you can ride it either direction. And yeah, it's got some snap through the tail. Oh yeah, and then the most important thing I think for like beginner park boards is that there's some reverse camber in the nose and tail, so making it a little bit more catch-free for spins. And Tim Brown says, 43-year-old guy, learn to snowboard thanks to you guys. Keep being awesome. Oh, amazing. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for watching. I'm happy to hear that you got into it later in life. That's really cool. And 43 is not that old anyway, so you still, yeah, we still got, I'm not too far off there. I'm not too far off of you there, Tim. Snowboard Dad says, what new board are you picking up this season? Yeah, good question. So I think I'm going to get, for my park board, Capita DOA, and for my all mountain and powder board, I'm looking at the Burton Deep Thinker. So those two boards really caught my eye, did a lot of research. But yeah, Burton Deep Thinker for my all mountain and powder board. And then, and the reason I want to get that is because I want to do more like freestyle stuff into the powder too. So being able to ride in both directions is important for me. But the Capita DOA is kind of, it's a lot like the Horoscope, but it's a bit stiffer, which I feel like is going to be better for hitting some like larger jumps and things. So yeah, looking at those two. And Chris L says, I'm heading to Whistler from December 9th to 22nd. Should I be worried about not enough snow? Not at all. So last year in November, opening day, I think it was like around the third weekend in November, we had one of the biggest powder days of the season. It was like 40 centimeters of powder on opening weekend. So you never know with Whistler. Like in the past in November, we've had up to like 5 meters of snowfall. So yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes it's kind of a gamble coming out to Whistler. I feel like with most resorts too, whether it's going to be a powder week or sun or possibly rain, or like who knows what kind of weather you'll get. So it's always a gamble. I hope you do get some great snow though. Thanks guys. So yeah, this was just a special live chat to cover for TJ. Yeah, he's moving to Whistler, so just stepping in to cover for him. Just 30 minutes, but tomorrow TJ I think is going to hop back on and do a full live chat with you guys. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope I answered some of your questions. Look out for TJ tomorrow. And yeah, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one soon. See you guys.